Alright, welcome to my first stream. For those that don't know who I am, I'm Bruce Leroy. I'm 25 years old. I'm a hip-hop and R&B artist. I'm a writer, songwriter, actor, comedian from Chicago, Illinois, on the north side. Alright? Now, for those of y'all just tuning in, whoever tunes in, maybe it's nobody, I don't fucking know. Low-key, I'm kind of pissed off. Listen, I'm low-key a little hangry. I'm bringing off not that much sleep, especially yesterday. And on top of that, I'm pissed the fuck off because I had a good-ass stream the last time. And how Twitch works, because it's my first time on Twitch, you gotta go to the motherfucking settings and go literally fix it. Like, you have to fix the goddamn settings so that way the video could save. So I was wild, I was on one, right? And the motherfucker didn't save. That shit pissed me off, bro. So everything I did, I gotta do it again. So all the funny shit I did, I gotta hope I'm funny today. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm in a bad fucking mood and I'm angry as shit, but life go on, and so will I. Now, before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, however the fuck this shit work on Twitch, we'll worry, but we'll get to the lingo as time goes on. If I kick y'all ass, I'll spread it out. Do already. Follow me on all social medias, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram is at Iron Bruce Leroy. TikTok is Bruce Leroy BIH, right? And subscribe here, it's I'm Bruce Leroy BIH. Now, I know I'm supposed to do a stream August 23rd. I'm going to quickly tell you what happened because I just said this shit like 10,000 fucking times. But I'm going to give y'all a long story short. I was not prepared. I was trying to download OBS on my computer. The shit did not work. And then goddamn, by the time Saturday rolled around, I was not prepared. I was not organized at all. And I thought the games was coming on at goddamn 12 o'clock. At noon, the bitches was on at 11 a.m. And so the good thing is I lucked out, so I got another week to prepare because the only notable game was the Kansas State and Iowa State game, which we're going to be talking about today's show. Now, for those of y'all just tuning in, what the hell is this stream about? Basically, this is how we're going to do it. So starting August 30th, which would be this Saturday, so here's how it's going to work in general, right? So this is basically a football stream for the most part. Right? I'm going to be recording music on here. You will be seeing me film some skits if we got time. This is basically a football stream. How is it going to work? Every Saturday, we are streaming the morning games, well, at least one of the morning games for college football, okay? Sunday will be dedicated to the NFL. If there's no NFL on, we'll basically watch some football highlights, discuss, and recap what I watched, any of the games that I watched, right? And then Monday through Wednesday-ish, we'll be straight recapping and watching highlights of the other games that I did not see. And then if we have any extra time, once again, we'll be recording music on here. And y'all be seeing me, you're going to be seeing me film my skits. So that's basically how it's going to work. The goal is to stream every day. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to stream because the Eagles would have, I think 4 p.m. today on Tuesday. The Eagles would have to cut their 53-man roster. Can't fucking talk. Shit. The Eagles would have to cut down their 53-man roster. They would have to cut down their fucking roster to 53. There we go. Yeah, it took a while, but we got it. I'm knocking somebody the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? Okay. All right, let's get serious, okay? So we're not going to waste no more time. Let's get into it, man. For those, none of y'all niggas will probably watch this, but for those that are watching, thank you and welcome. Welcome to my dojo. You take off your shoes in my dojo. You don't put your dirty ass Timbs on my floor. You put them by your door. Anyway, let me stop fucking around. First thing we're going to talk about, Iowa State and Kansas State. The first big, quote-unquote, big game of the season. Pleasantly surprised. And really, this game came down to a tale of two halves, okay? So real quickly, let me look something up real quick. I just want to, because it's some names that, this is Kansas State. I'm going to be a little bit of a noob because, like I said, I haven't watched, okay, so I'm going to tell y'all a little bit of backstory when it comes to me, all right? So I'm not going to lie to you. minimize that a little bit. Excuse me, not minimize, whatever the fuck it's called. Excuse me, by the way. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's gonna sound a little sad, but it's true. I have not watched a full college football game from beginning to end in literally 2 seasons. 2 fulls. Like I watched like bits and pieces of the national championship, and I ain't gonna lie, between Washington and goddamn Michigan. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was boring as fuck. That shit was a snooze fest. But anyway, I haven't watched college football in like 2 seasons. This is my first game from the first to the fourth that I watched in its entirety. And once again, this game came down to a tale of 2 halves. So this game was held in Dublin, Ireland. I guess it's this thing they're doing where they're trying to expand the game, sort of like what the NFL is doing, but in Germany and all that other shit. And then I think the Chargers and the Chiefs, they're going to be playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil, like how we play, how my team. For those that don't know, my favorite team is the Philadelphia Eagles, which we'll be definitely covering a lot. Also, just letting you guys know, I want you guys to follow me on my regular YouTube channel. It's going to be at I Am Bruce Leroy. It will be in the link tree on my main page, okay? So, for those who have been following me, I've been literally doing Eagles reactions for like 5 years straight. Approximately 5 years, okay? So I started covering this. I've been a fan since Sam Bradford, since Chip Kelly's last year when Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray was on the team. But I started covering the Eagles, I believe, my first full year. But it wasn't even a full year. I literally just fucking hopped in the middle of the year, like about week 8 or some shit like that. So my first full year was 2021 when Jalen Hurts came on the team. I hope that's right. It's 2020 for sure. It's either Carson Wentz's last year in Philadelphia or it was Jalen Hurts' first year. It's one of the two. I'm thinking it was Jalen Hurts' first year in 2021 when I fully started covering his football team. And I didn't even do the whole goddamn season, which is crazy. But yeah, I've been doing Eagles reactions over there. From now on, we're not doing no full reactions over there. We're doing it here on Twitch. I will still put my shit up on YouTube, but it'll be in the form of like shorts, or if I wanted to do some maybe like extended clips where it'd be like about 5-6 minutes type shit, I'll put that on there. But honestly, that channel will be straight comedy, and then you'll see some shit from this stream and some shit from somewhere else. I don't know, some cow shit, some cow. I don't fucking know. Anyway, all jokes aside, everything that I click, the fuck? Everything that I click, son of a bitch. Everything that I fucking click, everything that I click will be my shorts. I fucking sound stupid. It's been a minute since I did like a full streaming or a long form video. I've been doing shorts like short videos. So my shorts the clips that I take from the streams that I talk about the Eagles, okay, that will be put on the YouTube channel, right? And then I have some other TikTok like a BL clips, and that will also be like another channel on YouTube where it will host strictly Twitch clips, right, of anything I talk about. Back to the Iowa State and Kansas State game. This game came down to 2 halves, all right? So in the beginning, not in the beginning, I would say the vast majority of the game all the way up until like the end of the third, fourth quarter-ish, the weather was really bad, and the rain clearly affected both sides, okay? So you had Rocco Wright, who was the quarterback for Iowa State. Rocco Wright is the son of Anthony Wright, who was an NFL tight end, okay? I think he also went to Iowa State as well. And he went up against Avery Johnson, who is a junior for Kansas State, right? They claim he has some talent, and he was good, and that, he just needed to work on his decision-making and shit like that, which I'm not going to lie. Okay, so let's talk about what happened in the first half, because the first half was kind of crazy, all right? So, first and foremost, both teams struggled to maintain, to keep the pass rush, the front seven off of them for pretty much the vast majority of the game, especially when it was wet outside. The front seven was really having their way with the offensive line on both sides. Both sides really struggled to protect the quarterback. Sometimes the play calling and the quarterback themselves contributed to this shit as well. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So, it's a tale of 2 halves. The first half, I'm not going to lie to you, the shit was a complete fucking snooze fest. I mean, goddamn, give me some fucking Nike one and an electric blanket, and I'm It's over. You know what I'm saying? Tapped out. Done. That shit was ass. So here's the thing. So the biggest play came. So there's a guy named Dylan Edwards, right? He was supposed to be like a star running back for the Kansas State. He muffed the punt and he got injured and he was out for the game, right? So that's what happened with that. So it was very sloppy from both of the teams. It was a lot of fumbling. And like, I'm not going to lie to you. So the Joe Jackson, the backup running back, I thought for the most part outside of that fumble, he actually had a pretty good game. He was breaking off some big runs. I think the running game really worked for both sides, but I think more or less North and South was better for the for both teams. Not only was the running North and South was much better versus, especially for Iowa State. It seemed like to me Kansas State had the advantage speed wise over the Iowa State running backs, and Iowa State kept running their running backs laterally. And the quickness isn't there. So the shit was just not working whatsoever. I don't know why the fuck they kept doing that. Like they kept doing these lateral runs and the shit was not working because they don't have that type of skill set in their toolbox. I don't know why Iowa State kept doing the outside runs and not running it inside in the first half. That shit was really irritating. Also, I felt that both of these teams did not really do a good job, like speaking on the game holistically, of taking advantage because both of the quarterbacks were mobile and they could have taken advantage of it. I feel like that both of these teams, they committed to the run, but not as much as I liked it. They passed it too much. Like, to me, both of the teams, especially for Iowa State, right? Iowa State was fucking killing because, you know, both teams did not do a good job protecting the quarterback, but the ones that was the worst was fucking Iowa State. And by the way, for Kansas State, if your quarterback cannot, you know, if there's fumbling happening and there was botched snaps and guys slipping on, and your quarterbacks are throwing behind and all the other sloppy shit, for the life of me, I don't understand why Kansas State kept going in empty. To me, that shit made no fucking sense whatsoever. I was completely confused. Like, you have trouble protecting your quarterback, right? Your quarterback is struggling to get to a rhythm. Why the fuck you keep going in empty? It just makes no sense. You clearly can't stop the front seven. So there was two guys that we were supposed to be on the lookout for. One of them was named Dominique Orange, and they call him Big Citrus. He made one play, but really the biggest thing out the whole game for him, the biggest moment, was him flopping on a referee. What the fuck? Like, I'm not gonna let that nigga, like, to keep it real with you, he did barely anything. And this other guy that claimed, oh, he's the best linebacker in the Big 12. What the fuck is nigga name? Number 45. Yeah, Austin Romaine didn't do a fucking thing. He didn't do shit. They talk about a literal jersey and number. He didn't do a goddamn thing. They said he got 4 tackles, 4 assists. It didn't even feel like it. Like, they was showing his highlights and shit early on. Like, he was going to do something. He didn't do a goddamn thing. But just sit up there and just take his reps, however that worked. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't doing shit. But to keep it real with you, the quarterback play for both sides was abysmal. Iowa State, I was disappointed in two things. One, like I mentioned before, the lack of inside running, the lack of staying to the run. Another thing is this, right? As a coordinator, whoever the offensive coordinator is I'm blaming the coach and the offensive coordinator because I don't know the dynamic of who is actually in charge of calling the plays, but I'm going to blame both of them. For the life of me, out of, you know, the lesser of the two evils, Iowa State had more trouble protecting the quarterback than Avery Johnson did. And I'm not going to lie to you. Both of the quarterbacks were very mediocre. Like, both of them were ass. Like, I did not see the hype whatsoever between either one of them, especially with Avery Johnson. And I'm going to tell you some funny shit, too. So, Taylor McGregor, I think she was like the sideline reporter, some shit like that. She was like, yeah, you know, Avery Johnson went up to his teammates to the offensive line and told them to play better. Motherfucker, you play better. The reason why goddamn fucking Kansas State is not getting anywhere, is not progressing, is not putting points to the board, it's because of you. You keep throwing the ball behind wide receivers. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about? You're the You gotta play better, nigga. Don't come to your fucking teammates. You playing like shit. Be like, yeah, guys, I know I'm throwing passes behind motherfuckers, but I need y'all motherfuckers to catch the ball. Online, man, I know I'm out here doing goofy shit in the pocket and I get the ball in my hands, but I need y'all to protect me, alright? Alright? Losers on 3, 1, 2, 3. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You was ass. You gonna tell your players to play better. Nigga, you play better. It starts with you. Yeah, but Avery Johnson was ass. Like, both of them were ass, but I say Rocco Wright had the slight, ever so slight edge over him when it came to quarterback play. So the majority of the first half was a snooze fest, but there was like a glimmer of hope when Iowa State had the first score, and it was a really good moment where there's something I felt that both teams should have really done more of, especially in the rain. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially with Iowa State. They was up there playing like fucking Josh Allen in bad weather. Like, if y'all watch Bills games in bad weather when it's raining and snowing and shit, they have Josh Allen. And again, I'm not saying he's definitely capable of throwing the, like we see, if NFL fans know, Josh Allen does not have a problem throwing the football in bad weather. I say he's one of the very few quarterbacks I've seen that his skill doesn't diminish when it comes to playing in bad weather. He actually performs pretty well. But this is what they like about Belichick, all right? And let's have a conversation about Belichick right now. Listen, Belichick has the greatest quarterback. To me, Mahomes is my favorite player. I'm sorry. Eagles fans, they're going to get mad. My GOAT, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Number 15 is, like, he's my favorite player of all time. Past or present, don't matter. Offense, defense, whatever. But one thing I loved about Belichick didn't give a fuck that he was the greatest quarterback of all time on his roster. He said, well, this is bad weather. We going to hand this motherfucker off. Hey, Corey Dillon, hey, Stevenson, bring your ass up here. Take this rock. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give a fuck. Danny Woodhead, bring your ass over here. Take this rock. Bill Belichick didn't give a fuck. Even Matt Jones like, what the fuck? Why can't I throw the ball? I think it was a Monday Night Football game, and ironically, I think it was against the Buffalo Bills a couple years ago. I think it was last year as a Patriot. He was mad as hell that Belichick went out of the boat, but this is how Belichick is. And low-key, I think a little bit of the downfall of Bill Belichick is that Belichick, to me, like LeBron James, has seen both sides of the coin, right? He's played in an old enough era where it was more physical. It's kind of like LeBron played in an old enough era where there was a little bit more physicality. So he's seen the old way. Brady proved he can play in the old game where it was much more physical. That's when they had you got buzz or some shit like that. I forgot what the name of the second one was. Basically showing like big hits shit like that. It was on Chris Berman, Sunday NFL Countdown. Don't quote me on that, but that's why I think, can't talk. You got Jack. That was the name of the program that, and then you saw them hits was definitely, not only do I think those hits definitely affected the players outside of the game later on in life, them shit was never going to go. Like, I think this Atlanta dude, this guy from Atlanta who was a safety, it was the Rams. I think it was both. So the Rams had a safety, and Atlanta had a safety or somebody in the secondary that, and by the way, these are clean hits. Laid the shit out of them, dude, and they throw a flat. Like, literally, if you throw a big hit nowadays, bro, they throw on the flat. Even if the shit was clean or not. Like, the fact that if a player stops moving, even if you got with a clean hit, they're throwing the flag. So a lot of the shit that was on the Jack program definitely would not be okay in today's game. But going back, part of the reason why I think Belichick kind of didn't end on a good note, because you can't treat everybody like Brady. Like, all this strong guy and weak guy and nine formation and these old school formations, that was good for Brady because Brady has seen both sides. Brady played in an older game, a much more physical game, and Brady has played, obviously, in the modern game. So he understands both sides of the coin. You can't treat a quarterback. Matt Jones, despite some similarities as far as being a pocket passer, and Matt Jones obviously being the more mobile of the two, you can't treat Matt Jones like you would Brady, because Matt Jones didn't play in that era. He didn't play in fucking 2004 and 2001, 2002, shit like that. He didn't play that era. You know what I'm saying? and Brady was in college in Michigan in 1998. You know what I'm saying? So you can't treat your quarterback like he's like you can't give him old ass formation and expect him to play and understand the game from an older perspective if he never lived that perspective. Does that make sense? I don't know if I make any sense. But yeah, Mac Jones was fucking heated. He was mad as hell. And once goddamn they put fucking Matt Patricia on C, I knew it was just the beginning of the end for the New England Patriots. But and also low-key, this like kind of flipping back and forth. This low-key why the Bills don't win either, because no matter what, they are not committed to using their run game. And I think part of the reason why they can't beat the Chiefs is because they looking for hero ball, looking for Josh Allen to be on every front page. And sometimes it's like, yo. Like, and niggas get mad at Jalen Hurts. Bro, Jalen Hurts will do what it takes to win the football game, right? He don't care about the heroics. Can he do it if he's called upon? I'm pretty sure he can. I believe he can. I've seen it. But he doesn't have to do that. And I think Jalen Hurts does such a great job of just understanding it's not about, getting praise from fucking everybody from Get Up and First Take. It's about winning the goddamn football game. It's not about getting praise from guys over at FS1. It's about, let's win this football game. And that's why you got shit. That's why all y'all favorites, y'all say, oh, you're bad, hurt. You don't have shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, Mahomes is a different story. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of flipped again. I'm an Eagles fan and I die. But if you want to ask, Mahomes, Mahomes is my favorite player. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I had to root for my Eagles in the Super Bowl. But, when the Super Bowl over, hey, Mahomes, that's my goal right there, straight up. But anyway, go back to the college game, right? And also what frustrated the fuck out of me was like, Iowa State was going at 11 personnel. You cannot protect the quarterback. The quarterback is on his ass in like less than 3. Like, the offensive line clearly can't hold up, right? So 2 things. So Sanders didn't do shit. I'm not that fuck. I'll read it to the rest. So I'm kind of scattered. I'm sorry. So why fuck if your quarterback can't protect himself, right? He can't. If your offensive line is not doing a good job of protecting your quarterback, he has no time to throw the fucking football. Why do you compound the fucking problem by going in 11 personnel? That makes no fucking sense. You would A, stick to the run game, and B, do some things where you're making it easier on your quarterback, like going under the center. Designing some short passes where he can get the ball out of his hands. And I feel like that's why Iowa State took part because the quarterback wasn't throwing the ball the way he should have been. But also at the same time, you have the play calls that make it easier on the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I want to go over the wide receivers. Well, actually, before we do that, I gotta share some hilarious ass shit. So Taylor McGregor, the sideline reporter. Hold on a second. I swear to God, she had me busting out laughing like a motherfucker. So most reporters, they're very professional in how they approach it. This is how Taylor McGregor was approached. Yeah, so coach, and this was the Kansas State coach. Yeah, so coach, you want to talk about your sloppy ass play with everybody following the football? Like most reporters would be professional, would address the question in a more professional manner. She didn't give 2 fucks. Like most people are like, listen, you guys really struggled in the first half. Is coach, do you have a plan on how you want to clean? Can't fucking talk. Shit, you want to plan on how to clean up your fucking sentences. Now, do you have hold on, let me do this right. Most people are like, listen. Fuck, scatterbrain, brain fart. Okay. Sit in your ass to life and not be able to speak English. Okay. Hold on. Let me calm down. Okay. So, most people are like, listen, you guys weren't really clicking or you guys were struggling. How do you plan to clean things up in the second half? That's what most reporters will say. This is just like, yeah. So you guys were sloppy as hell in the first half. Do you guys have a plan for the second half to make up for that shit? Coach, do you have a plan? Coach, wake up. Hello, you have a plan? Your team's playing like shit and they keep falling to the football and your quarterback's playing like trash. And your O-line can't protect the quarterback. How do you feel about that? How do you feel? Coach, answer answer the question, Coach. Excuse me, Coach. Your sloppy ass team needs help. What are you gonna do about it, Coach? Low-key, she was savage as fuck. I'm like, God damn, why you could have dressed it up just a little bit. I'm like, God, she might be brand new or something. Maybe she's not out of it, because, like I said, I haven't watched college football like 2 years. But the way she said, she asked the question was funny as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, so let's go back to the players. Again, it was a tale of two halves. And on top of that, I want to talk about, some of the wide receivers for particularly Kansas State. So Jace Brown, they was really hyping this guy up. And honestly, in the beginning, I would say when the offense really picked up for Kansas State in the third quarter. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I really, really like the Wildcat play. And I think when Iowa State opened up the score, those were like the two of the best moments to me in the first half of that Kansas State-Iowa State game. Now moving on to the second half. I'm looking at Jace Brown, I'm like, oh shit, like I understand the hype behind it because he looked pretty good. And then for some reason, he just started this inconsistent bullshit. I'm like, bro, they haven't really got you the ball the whole game. You look like, I'm like, damn, like they should have gotten the ball earlier. Then your performance trailed off. And I'm like, bro, if you're the best man and they give you the ball, you got to capitalize on that shit. You can't just start off good and just did it. Nah, you got to be on your shit. So I'm disappointed in Jace Brown. He should have had a much better game, dude. He got 4 receptions for 78 yards. But I'm going to be honest with you, he should have played much better. Like, he can't have a performance like this and he just did it like that. Nah. By the way, shout out to Jared Bradley for coming through. You know what I'm saying? When Jace Brown was doing his job, Jared Bradley did a really, really good job of actually. By the way, I would say, and to give credit to Rocco, right, and to give a little bit of credit, both receivers were drops of pass, particularly on the Iowa State side. So the receivers weren't necessarily perfect either. And again, like I said, there was a lot of fumbling issues, and the quarterback did a bad job just mishandling the snaps too. And sometimes the running backs were at fault because they have to be, they got to be paying attention as well. But the receivers were dropping the passes for Iowa State. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not, especially with the tight ends. So I'm not going to, again, the quarterbacks played like shit the first half, but we can acknowledge that guys were dropping passes. So, but yeah, I was disappointed in James Brown. But shout out to Jared Bradley for that big touchdown. Now, everybody look at the box score, right? 24-21 Iowa State. Everybody's going to look at the numbers and say, oh, Rocco Wright's a better quarterback than Avery Johnson. Now, that may have been true barely. I mean, let's put it like this. This shit was like watching Kyle McCord go up against Dorian Thompson-Robinson, as y'all like to call him, DTR. Kyle McCord is ass, but he is slightly better. It's like, I'm about to say, never mind. But anyway, just slightly, they both were ass. You know what I'm saying? And they got cut recently. Well, I think Kyle McCord might go back to the practice squad. DTR, I'm not sure what's going to happen with him. But it's like they both ass, but one is just like, barely better. That's how it was in the first half with Rocco Wright over Avery Johnson. Second half, both quarterbacks started to play as the weather cleared. They started to play better as the weather cleared up. And I think between the two, I think Avery Johnson, actually, in my opinion, was the better quarterback than Rocco Wright. I think Rocco Wright, low-key, not even low-key, high-key, got away with some interceptions. I mean, he stole some very, very bad passes. I mean, he started I'm telling you right now, Kansas State capitalizes on those interceptions. This is a whole different ball game. And Avery Johnson, to me, despite whatever the stats may say, as a watcher of the full game, I'm telling you, Avery Johnson improved. Rocco Wright was not better than Avery Johnson in the second half. When it came down to it, the weather cleared up. They was dueling back and forth. Avery Johnson was the far superior quarterback. The passes were much better. It seemed like the quarterback play for Avery Johnson was superior. I don't give a shit about whatever the stats or the box score says. I watched the game in its entirety. Rocco Wright should have lost his game because he threw he was throwing almost interceptions that really should have been capitalized as interceptions, giving Kansas State possible extra possessions to be able to put more points on the board. You know what I'm saying? So Kansas State missed out on opportunities for that. Okay? Now, going back to, okay, what the hell was that? I have a little bit of brain. Shit. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell you, low key, what saved Anthony Wright's ass. Carson Hansen. Carson Hansen is the real MVP of this game. Breaking off the big runs and damn near almost scoring on a fourth. By the way, the fourth down conversions, the centers for the fourth, like for instance, I'll give you an example for Kansas State. On a 4th and 1, quarterback sweep out 11 personnel. What the fuck are we doing here? You got running backs for a reason. And on top of that, 4th and 1, you're doing a quarterback sweep? Like to me, that play call, like a lot of these teams are doing some bad play call moments, but that to me, 4th and 1, my bad, that's all spit. 4th and 1 on that shotgun, I decided, that shit was just fucking stupid. It was a very poor decision. Even if he would have got it, because they did review it, he didn't get it, but either way, whether he got it or didn't, that was a really poor decision on Kansas State part. But here's another thing, I'm telling you right now. So 4th and 1, this is like, he threw the ball out to the flat to Carson Hansen. And I'm thinking like, oh, this is not good. Because he threw a percentage throw that's like, you're not going towards 6. And he took it and he did it. He just fell down to put more points to the board. But it ended up working out because when he fell down, it gave Iowa State an opportunity to steal the game, which they did. But Carson Hansen, the big runs at the end of the 3rd into the 4th, and I'm going to tell you, outside of Kansas State not capitalizing on those interception opportunities, I'm going to tell you also why Iowa State won this game. Iowa State won this game because they went back to balance, okay? And that's what Kansas State was just about, It's nice to have the shootout. It's fun. It's good for the fans. It's good for the game. The second half actually made it a good game. I feel like the game was like between a D+ and a C-. And the second half performance for both teams, especially the quarterback duel, raised it to about a B-. So I give that game like an 8 out of 100. That's my score for that. Very positive, very awesome game. Somebody as me, I didn't watch college football for 2 years. That shit was fire. Like that was a great way to open up the season for sure. But yeah, Carson Hansen was the MVP. I'm sorry, I don't care what nobody said. He really saved their ass. And I think them going back to a balanced attack, none of the fancy shit, none of the loud shit, like straight up north and south running, putting the ball in Carson Hansen's hands. He put that team on his back, and he, in my opinion, he's the MVP. He carried Iowa State to a victory. So overall, love the game. First half, a little bit of a snooze fest, but the second half was very interesting. Despite whatever the box score says, A.B. Johnson to me was the better quarterback. I think Rocco Wright had, he got his ass saved by his running back Carson Hansen, and that Kansas State defense should have come up with those turnovers for sure. All right, so let's move on from that. Let's talk about some other stuff. So let's talk about Shadeur really quickly. So Shadeur had a game, I think it was like 3 for 6. I think he had 2 fumbles, right? And then there were some opportunities where, here's the thing, and I'm going to keep it real. I don't give a shit what y'all think. I'm keeping it all the way, guys. One thing I noticed about certain topics, especially concerning, black athletes or whatever, or like black people, or so, like it really bring out the race up. Like I'm gonna take some humps. Alright. The motherfuckers that be having the hats, and I ain't talking about having that C in the middle. You know what they be having on their hats. They are full flames all the time. Shadeur Sanders had a great game. By the way, I'm rooting for Shadeur Sanders. I think he's a good dude. I think he was sabotaged from the get-go. Have a guy that was easily a first-round pick, easily has Pittsburgh, Giants, Saints, quarterback-needy teams, and he was not being selected. It just made absolutely no fucking sense to me whatsoever. That shit was bewildering. You need a quarterback. You guys are in complete rebuild mode, and that's the decision that you make to pass up on them. Knowing damn well the motherfuckers like Tyler Hansborough, who's performed really bad in the preseason and in camp, is nowhere near better than Shadeur. Jackson Dart, gotta give him his credit. He's playing pretty damn good. But at that time, I don't think he's better than Shadeur Sanders, right? Dylan Gabriel, we got. I mean, look, the numbers are a little better, but I'm just keeping it real. The whole shit was just weird from the get-go. And there's a lot of people that's not like, no, Shedeur's getting a fair share. No, the fuck he's not. He should have been a goddamn 5th round pick. So from the get-go, he was sabotaged. And then when he had a good game, fucking Stefanski didn't even give his credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the person who went over it was surprised. Was the GM. And then the owner went up there and said, like, yo, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have drafted Shadeur. Hell no, I would have drafted his ass. He would have still been on the board. It wasn't for me. And then listen, I told you, Eric Dixon, that nigga was hating harder than the motherfucker. Like, bro, for the life of me, just kind of, putting that to bringing it up again in my recollection. To give a fuck about a stupid ass rushing record that you're retired. That shit don't even matter. Okay? It's not like you can go back and do anything about it. You're retired. 1. 2. Bro, all this shit we on this earth, bro, when we die, we can't take none of that shit with us. 20 records are maybe broken. It is what it is. So when they saw that hate shit with Saquon, I started looking at Eric Dixon a little bit different. I ain't gonna hold you. But a lot of people were like, no. I'm like, no, I don't believe that shit for one bit. So Eric Dixon went on a podcast and he was saying that, like, yo, he has some credible sources that told him they wanted to make an example out of Shadeur, and they called the Browns and told them not to draft, which I 100% believe. I'm actually glad he shared the information, because listen, and here's the thing, right? 2 things can be true at once. We can say, okay, Shadeur did not play good in that game, right? You got to take the opportunities to step up in the pocket. I understand that sometimes it might be discouraging because he's playing with guys that, I think if I'm not mistaken, every single offensive line that Shadeur played with got cut, okay? Even though, and here's the thing at the end of the day, right? For the Browns, why the fuck are you giving reps to Joe Flacco? We've seen Joe Flacco in the Browns offense before. He took them to a playoffs, and I'm mistaken, he won a playoff game. We see him. He's a Super Bowl champion with the fucking Ravens. He's been in the league forever. We know what the fuck Joe Flacco can do in the ball. Why are you giving him that much? First off, you should be giving this nigga more than a drive. But literally, I swear to God, once in the highlights at that time, I was, trying to catch up on the Kansas State Iowa State game. I had to goddamn fast forward to the fucking highlights to go find Shadeur. I had to fast forward. It's like, okay, there's Flacco, there's Gabriel, still Gabriel again. But Gabriel played good. And so I'm not going to take nothing away from him. And by the way, the 53 is going to be Flacco, it's going to be Dylan Brooks, Dylan Gabriel, and it's going to be Shadeur Sanders. That's how that's going to work. All right? So, boom. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, they put him at a weird-ass time. You want to give your quarterback an opportunity to have rhythm. And when you place him in the middle of the fourth like that, and then on top of that, if you really cared about developing him, let him finish the 2-minute drive. Why the fuck are you giving a 2-minute drive for Tyler Huntley, who's going to be cut? He's not even going to be a part of this goddamn team. Because it's too many quarterbacks that are handing him on the depth chart. He's just there because Kenny Pickett got hurt and Deshaun Watson is still hurt as well. But he is actually, he's going to get cut. Why the fuck are you taking away valuable? A 2-minute drill is very valuable. And on top of that, yes, it doesn't count. But let's see what your quarterback does under that pressure. Let's see if your quarterback can lead the drive, right? We see every single team, even the Rams, they didn't even play Stetson Bennett. They played their third stringer. Us, even though technically been accused of someone dealing with an injury. Kyle McCord, right? Third stringer. You see the Rams. See all these, even the Jets game that I was looking at as well. Because they all play their fucking third stringers. Everybody, again, I understand time rise, whatever, is injured, but everybody played their third, fourth, and fifth stringers. So why are you giving reps? You take reps away from Gabriel and Shadeur, and you're taking your quarterback out into the 2, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. It truly doesn't. Something's just not wrong. Like something is wrong. You can say, okay, Shadeur did step up in the pocket. Shadeur has to stop going all the way back like you playing with fucking Mercury Morris with fatigue and injuries off on Madden 97. You can can say that and you be right. Shadeur did not play good. But let's just stop acting like, he was being put in a position to win. Yes, I agree with TJ and Ocho about what they said on Nightcap. They're absolutely correct. That man was not put in a position to succeed whatsoever, right? You're doing this young quarterback dirty, and I don't care what anybody got to say about it. And it's just like, I knew they're not going to cut Shadeur because at the end of the day, they don't want to be in a position like how the Titans was with A.J. Brown when he went to us, and goddamn Saquon Barkley when it comes to the Giants. They don't want to be there where Shadeur can go to a better situation and thrive. They don't want to be the laughing stock of the NFL. Like, damn, you mistreated this guy. You didn't handle him correctly. You devalued him. You know what I'm saying? By the way, Shadeur got cut. And I low-key thought the fight was funny. To me, the Shadeur thing, it was just like, it was really weird that they didn't put that man in a position to succeed. You say, okay, he didn't play good, and you're right about that, but he also not in a position where he could thrive. You gotta set your quarterback up in a much better position than that. So again, and here's the thing. While Shadeur did have a bad game, I actually don't look at it different. I don't look at him like, oh, he's really ass, he's overrated. No, he's a young player who has to grow, right? We're all human. We all make mistakes no matter what area or occupation we're doing in life. Even myself as a musician, as a comedian, as an actor, I had to grow in those areas, right? It was a time where I could only do long-form content. Now I've upgraded and I can do short-form content when it comes to the time. Musically, I was doing bad takes. Singing was garbage as fuck. Now my singing is better, right? My writing is kind of like way too wordy. Now I was better. You know what I'm saying? So we all gotta grow. No matter what area of life we're at, no matter what occupation we have, each and every one of us, we're human. And even when you think you got shit sewn up, you still gonna have to grow, right? I want to go in a little bit of tidbit about Roger Jackson. So for those that don't know, Roger Jackson is the son of Rampage Jackson, okay? And I'll put a disclaimer out here. I did not watch the stream in its entirety because I don't watch streams in general. But, because I have a life and I'm doing so much other shit, I just don't have the time. I'm working. But I'm going to tell you guys what I seen, okay? I'm going to tell you some tidbits of what I heard, but I'm going to tell you what I seen. So boom, Roger Jackson, he gets into an altercation with this wrestler outside because he threw something at him. Roger was like, I don't play that shit. Now, they was kind of restraining him, trying to the people around him was trying to de-escalate the situation, okay? From what I've heard, the wrestler apologized to Roger Jackson, and Roger Jackson accepted the apology. From what I've heard. Can't guarantee it about what I heard. So, boom. But here's the thing. From what I seen, I'm like, I don't think this is going to go over well. Because at that point in time, he felt disrespected. You know what I'm saying? So, boom. The wrestling event happens. And the guy just happened to be in the wrestling event. And Roger's there. From what I've heard, the promoters allowed Roger to come to go in that ring. First off, he shouldn't have been there in the fucking first place. They should have never let him in the venue in the first place. They know that them two was butting heads. So he should have never been there in the first place. At first of all, they should have never allowed him in the building. They should have never allowed him in period. And they damn sure shouldn't let him inside the fucking ring. So he went in the ring, and his ego and his pride being hurt, and him being a young person, he saw it as an opportunity to get his get back, and he beat the man up. And unfortunately, he couldn't control his emotions, and he kept beating on a man after he was unconscious. Now, from what I've heard, based on the Rampage Jackson tweet, the guy is okay. So obviously, prayers for that guy to get better. And in the traditional sense, you do not want to be hit. Like, first off, you in a fight, it is what it is. Listen, as grown people, we should try not to fight. We should be making money, doing more productive shit with our time, and not be fighting. Okay, so first and foremost, listen, we should be prepared to fight. We should know how to fight. Know how to defend ourselves. Know how to throw a fucking jet. Know how to throw a 1-2. You know what I'm saying? And know how to protect. Know how to keep your fucking hands up and know how to throw a 1-2. At the very least, as a man, we should know how to do to protect ourselves and to protect our families if we have, right? So, Obviously, I'm 100% against. Roger is wrong for hitting that guy while he was unconscious. But what we not going to act like he is. I hear a lot of people, once again, with these hats, not with the C on there, with you already know. It's a phrase. If you know, you know. He's a monster. Rawr, he's a monster. He's a demon. No. This is not, even though it happened during a sanctioned event, this was a fucking street fight. You gotta understand the temperament of the person that you're interacting with. Roger Jackson, from what I can see, he not this loud, flashy ass guy. He a simple, regular guy. He don't do all that rah-rah shit. That's not him. He regular as hell. So when you do shit to him, right? It's like you gotta understand the person that you're dealing with. And then a lot of people like, well, he was a veteran that PTSD. And I'm like, okay, yeah, well, God bless him. Obviously, those are real situations, right? But like, yo, you can't just do what the fuck you want to people and then like literally just try to control their reaction. That's how it works. Leave motherfuckers alone. So two things can be true at once. We can say, Roger, you was wrong for hitting that guy with a coach. But also, here's the thing. Roger didn't go in there beating the shit out of the man. This was a street fight. He was defending himself from what he felt like he was being disrespected. His pride and ego was hurt at the same time, okay? So two things can be true at once. You can say, oh yeah, boom. He shouldn't have did that to Roger. You can't do something to somebody, they control how they respond, first and foremost. Secondly, Roger, you gotta calm the fuck down. You can't do that. But sometimes, here's the thing. And a lot of these motherfuckers haven't been in fights, okay? So sometimes you would hope that you have the wherewithal, like, okay, once the guy knocked out, and I'm unfortunately in a situation where I have to fight, I just walk the fuck away. Once he down, that's it. Because you can go to jail for involuntary manslaughter, you can kill somebody, all sorts. You can really ruin your fucking life over fighting. That's why you shouldn't be doing that shit. Especially as an adult, you ain't no kid, ain't no detentions, ain't no suspensions. It's real life ass consequences where your life could be ruined because you out here fucking fighting. I bet. So boom. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So he blacked out. And shit like this can happen to anybody. He blacked the fuck out. That's what happens. Not an evil person. He blacked out. And unfortunately, when he blacked out, all he saw was this motherfucker disrespecting me. That was it. It wasn't like, oh shit. And it's like, yo, my pride and ego was crushed, and I gotta go get it back. And the way to get it back is to do how he made me feel. I'm gonna make him feel the same way. That was in his head. He blacked out. So yes, we was wrong for what he did, but all this monster shit, all this like, get on the lethal injection, you have an allergic chair, kill this motherfucker, let him die, he's a piece of shit. No, he's just a man who blacked out, and hopefully he gets another chance and he has an opportunity to understand. First and foremost, stop fighting. You're the son of Rampage Jackson. We know that he gonna teach you a thing or two, alright? You know what I'm saying? We know that you can't be the son of a motherfucking UFC fighter and not know shit. So we know you can defend yourself. We've seen the videos. We know you can defend yourself. As an adult, as a man, you gotta learn how to de-escalate situations, and you gotta walk away from certain motherfuckers. You see a motherfucker who ain't got nothing to lose, and it's just only about crashing out. You gotta stay away from niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? Because as a man, we gotta be doing productive shit. So in that case, what you need to do is learn how to walk away. If you can walk away, walk away. You ain't got to prove nothing to nobody. So hopefully you learn the situation that like, yo, listen, I'm a grown man. The only thing I got to do is take care of me and my family. That's it. That's the only thing I'm worried about. All that extra shit, my pride and my ego, fuck all that. You want your freedom? Your freedom is more important than your fucking pride and your ego. Your life is more important than your pride and your ego. Okay? The people that's relying on you, that's counting on you, to have your freedom, to have your life is more important than your fucking pride and ego. So hopefully you learn that you're not a punk for walking away. You're actually the opposite. You're staying focused. And hopefully he learned from this shit. Obviously, praise out to the guy when nothing happened. But again, you can't control somebody's reaction. And this is not a sanctioned battle. Not like he hit him while they was, in an exhibition fight, or, they was telling something where it was a sanctioned bout. It wasn't like that. This was a street fight. He went in there to defend himself on an earlier incident. That's what the fuck happened. He didn't go in there beating on a guy that wasn't having a scheduled bout and he went too far. No, he went in there with the purpose of, this is a street fight. I'm going to get this motherfucker for what he did to me. I bet. Moving on. Last thing, I want to say something else. I want to talk about this real quick because you got to go. I want to make sure I end the stream and shit like that. So, boom. WNBA players. I ain't want to talk about this shit because, hold on, back to back. So I want y'all to hear this bullshit that came across my timeline on TikTok, and I'm gonna look it up on YouTube and let's see. Okay.
Terrible. It's my only comment on it. It's like they don't care about player safety. It's like they don't care about scheduling or whatever. And I mean, I only mentioned that one time in the beginning of the season, and I know people always love to come and say, oh, you guys want to get paid more, you guys need to play all these games, but at some point there's a sports science to it. And yeah, it's honestly just like game on game on game on game. So we play tomorrow and we're professional and we'll do it.
I swear to God, I'll be there. I'll be at the shoot-around. I'll be there with my Gatorade bottle, my M2, so I can stay hydrated. Like, dude, there's motherfuckers working warehouse jobs for 12 hours, 14 hours. There's nurses, 12, 14 hours, 16-hour shifts. Because people that can't fucking stand in a job that work like 2, 3, 4-time jobs. You are in a blessed position. Here's the thing. I almost didn't want to make a comment on this because every time you say something about the WNBA and you're criticizing, they call you misogynist. Like, okay, it's very well known, okay, this is a fact, the WNBA is a losing business. So technically what happens in a losing business, let's think in terms of a 9 to 5. So fuck the NBA for a second, like the WNBA. Let's think in terms of a 9 to 5. What happens when a business isn't making any money? So two things happen. One, they start to cut your hours. If they still aren't making money, they start laying people off. Eventually, that place goes out of business. That typically is what happened with businesses. We're talking in a 9 to 5 sense, okay? So, okay, we're going to cut the workers' hours. That don't work. We got to lay off some people for payroll. Okay, that ain't work. All things must go. That's how business works. So technically speaking, the fact that you guys are still existing, even though you're losing profits, is a blessing in itself. And you're backed by the NBA. On top of that, they went up to you guys for a pay raise. And everybody said, we're not getting paid enough. We're not getting paid enough. You know, we should be playing, doing what LeBron James and Steph Curry does. It's a fucking lie. That's a fucking, I don't give shit. Listen, if y'all watch me for the first time, understand this. I say what the fuck I want to say. I don't give a fuck about nothing. When me personally, I say what the hell I want to say. Let me tell you something right now. Okay, number one, you are playing the sport that you love. Stop fucking complaining. Let's go over to me let's use me as an example. I'm a comedian. I'm an actor. I'm a musician, right? As a musician, what do I know? Oh shit. You know when you start to level up, you're gonna be on that fucking road a lot. Oh shit, you know you gotta be on the road and do a bunch of TikToks and shit. Oh yeah, you also know that you might get 3 hours of sleep on multiple occasions, right? So while those are legitimate concerns, you can't have your fucking cake and eat it too. It doesn't work. Like motherfuckers wanna, this is the problem with this world, right? The world wants to try to orchestrate how their life would go. Life ain't promised to nobody. Again, I'm not saying Ron Wave said this, the first one who said this, but it's the first time I heard it. He said, Ron Wave said, God gives his realest battles to his toughest soldiers. That line stuck out. Again, he ain't the first to say it, he's the first time I heard it personally. When he said that, it made a lot of sense, right? So you can't orchestrate, somewhere along the line, there'll be some adversity, tragedy, maybe you get fired, maybe you get demoted, maybe you're going through hard time, depression, anxiety. All this shit that accompanies what you do. So no matter where you go in life, you will have adversity. You will have to overcome that adversity, or otherwise just fucking die. Like, let me stop, okay? Because I don't want that to be taken out of context. What I'm saying is, if you live in this world, if you exist in this world, you're not gonna have shit your way. Motherfuckers will walk around like goddamn Rasputin shit. What you laughing at? I ain't had no cake. Better mind your damn business. That's life. Get over it. There's motherfuckers who can't stand their fucking jobs and have to do way more than you do. Stop bitching. You are playing basketball. This is what you like to do. Fuck. And I'm tired of people, every time you criticize, you bring up legitimate facts and say you're a misogynist. That's why I didn't want to talk about it at first, but this shit pissed me off so fucking bad. Because it's like, you want to get paid. You say, I can do what LeBron does. I can do his thing. But you play back-to-back games. And matter of fact, on my stream yesterday, I looked it up. Before last year, when they changed the rules, they played less than half. So an 82-game season is a full NBA season for the men. For the women, it was 40. They raised it up to 44. I think it's 30 teams for the NBA. They got about like 14, 16 teams. They're about to have 18 or some shit like that. But it's way less than 30. And some of y'all say, well, listen, and here's my opinion too. I think Shaq was right. I think they should lower the rim. Think about it like this. What's the average women's height? How many women in this world in general are over 6 feet and up? How many women are 5'11"? The average height of a woman roughly is about like 5'3" to 5'5". You guys play with a ball that is a smaller size anyway. So if you really want to say, no, we don't want to lower the rims, then why don't you demand that you guys play with the same balls that NBA players use? You won't. So motherfuckers don't want equality. They want all the benefits and shit, but the other shit, like, oh no, I'm good. I'll see y'all later. I'll see y'all motherfuckers later. No, that ain't how life works. Pick your girl, put on your big girl pants and deal with it. Or otherwise, just fucking retire. That's it. Be an adult. Shit happens. Anxiety, lack of sleep, not eating. There's some shit I deal with, but guess what? I chose to do this. I've wasted money. I've had money stolen from me as an entertainer, as a musician. I've paid for shit and then get a ROI. This is the shit that happens. I have motherfuckers hate on me. They disrespect me. They don't see my vision. I can bitch about those things, but at the end of the day, that's life. I chose this life. Nobody else did. So I gotta deal with the good, the good shit that come with it, and also a lot of bullshit negativity that comes with it as well. All right. So I'm out of time. Hope y'all enjoyed the first stream. Tomorrow, we will be discussing the Eagles 53-man roster, who got cut, who made it. This at the 3rd. And after that, I'll see you on the 30th, and we'll try to be streaming every day from now on. Peace!